Kevin Holland, DC, you squashed the beef with both of them. How are you feeling about that? Like overall with dealing with both those guys and hopefully in a better position now.
Well, me and Kev ain't never had no beef. I'm gonna just keep it a buck right there. Me and Kevin Holland ain't never had no beef. Ain't never been no issues. Ain't never been no problems. But we got to keep the storyline going, as they call it.
You guys are building each other up. I see what it is.
Right. But when it comes to DC, everybody knew the situation that we was going. And be honest with you, I felt kind of childish even having that conversation because he was telling me how I shouldn't be promoting myself. Right. But at that time when we had that conversation, I'm not in the right mind and attitude to really be going back and forth with DC because I have something I have to be more concerned about, and that's my fight, And I really feel like, a lot of people felt like, it is what it is. DC really got into him, and it is what it is, right? At that moment, he definitely did. I shut the fuck up, and I let DC speak his truth, right? Because one thing that DC was definitely correct about, he doesn't have to help any other fighter along the way, right? It's not his responsibility. No matter black, white, Asian, Dagestani, don't even matter, right? Whoever he chooses to put on and talk about and help push, that's his prerogative. You know what I mean? Like that's his decision. But for me, I really feel like at the end of the day, it's just like making the decisions and whatever I do, living on it, right? And living by it and standing on it. So no matter what I say, no matter what I do, you know what I mean? Just realize whatever consequences or whatever anybody has to say about it, don't be affected by it, and just stand on those decisions. But I don't think DC fuck with me still.
You don't feel like that?
Nah,
He said you made the perfect call out.
Huh?
He said your call out was the perfect call out. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's TV DC.
That's TV.
I'm talking about
industry.
Lafayette DC. Don't fuck with me still.
He's getting that paper up in your face too, like.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I appreciate DC for just having that talk. Us going viral. That's still promo at the end of the day.
You're the most viewed out of anybody, I think, other than Pereira. So, just putting it out there.
Oop, there it is. Yet again, people love drama. People love stupid stuff. So but at the end of the day, I feel like for me, what I learned about that, stand on what you say. Right.
Right.
Just stand on it. Yeah.
Honestly, I think people are saying he got into you, but I think you were real, dude. Like sometimes you have to admit when you're wrong, and I feel like you did that. You said your point to DC about like you called me a pussy, and then he's like, yeah, but you called you said my mom raised a hoe, and then you're like, okay, like I get that. Like I'm not gonna, So that two men, I think like you have to do that. So I thought it was fine. I didn't think like he got into you at all. I think you guys both expressed your opinions.
Exactly.
And I think he probably fucks with you. I think you're like hopefully he looks at you as like a little brother or something like that,
yeah,
or
probably,
like a nephew.
But at the end of the day, I really feel like me and DC, because I tell people all the time, that's one thing I would be honored is, and people will still be like, oh, this nigga still trying to fight. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Whatever I can get when I talk about working and training, I can take into that cage for myself, right? If I get my ass whooped in the gym, I get to whoop somebody's ass out there in the fight, right? So I really feel like for me, it's just like if DC is able to bless me with some work, bro, you know what I mean? That's how I know that we'd be cool, But he still hasn't blessed me. He still ain't wrestled around with me and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? Because yet again, that's how you build a true brotherhood or a true, let's say, understanding between one another as martial artists is being able to get into the gym and train with one another,
Right. Well, he gave you his word. He said it'll happen. I believe him. So let's see.
I got you. Hey, there you go. We'll see.